As AI gets more and more powerful, it's pretty clear that knowing how to use it responsibly, well, that's going to be one of the most important skills for the future. So let's really dig into what that actually means. All right, just a quick note before we dive in. This is Chapter 6 of a 10-chapter course called An Introduction to Artificial Intelligence for Students ages 14 to 19, and it's by Virtualization Options LLC. So let's just stop and think for a second. That AI you use every single day, the stuff that recommends your next video, the chatbot you mess around with, the apps that tweak your photos, is it always fair? I mean, really, that question right there, that's the whole reason we're here today. And to even begin to answer that, we've got to look past all the slick, cool features and start digging into some of AI's, well, its hidden problems. And hey, this isn't about being against technology, not at all. It's about becoming a smart, aware user. Okay, so the first big one we need to tackle is something called AI bias. And what's so wild about this is where it comes from. See, AI systems aren't, trying to be unfair. They don't have intentions. The bias creeps in because the AI is trained on data, our data, that's already full of human biases. It's that classic saying, garbage in, garbage out. And believe me, this isn't just some abstract idea. This stuff has major real-world consequences. We're talking about facial recognition that's less accurate for people with darker skin, simply because it wasn't trained on a diverse enough set of faces, or AI hiring tools that actually learn to favor men over women because they studied decades of biased hiring data. See what's happening? Unchecked, AI doesn't just repeat our biases, it can actually make them even worse. So yeah, bias is a huge, huge deal. But it's not the only problem hiding under the surface. Let's flip the coin over and talk about privacy. Because to do all that amazing stuff, AI needs fuel. And that fuel, well, it's data, a ton of data. And most of the time, it's your personal data. This brings up some really important questions you've got to ask yourself. Who actually owns all that data about you? Every website you visit, every place your phone goes, every dumb meme you send to your friends. And maybe even more important, how is all that information being used? Is it shaping what you see online, what you buy, what you even believe? Just starting to think about this is the first step to getting some control back. Okay, so we've talked about the big problems, bias and privacy. It can feel a little overwhelming, right? But here's the good news. There are things you can do about it. So let's start building your personal toolkit for using AI in a smart, responsible way. And we'll kick it off with a super practical rule you can use tomorrow in school. It's called the 30% AI rule, and the idea is actually pretty simple. For any kind of schoolwork where the whole point is for you to learn something, AI should only do about 30% of the heavy lifting. So yeah, use it to brainstorm ideas or to help you with an outline. And for sure, use it at the end to check your grammar. But that big chunk in the middle, the thinking, the writing, the real analysis, that has to come from you. This way, AI stays what it should be, an awesome tool, not a crutch that stops you from learning. But beyond any specific rule like that, your most powerful tool is always going to be your own brain, your critical thinking skills. It's about getting into the habit of not just taking what an AI spits out as fact. You've got to learn to question it. And here's where you start your investigation. Who made this thing? Was it a person, a company? And what do they want? Are they trying to help you learn, or are they maybe trying to sell you something, or just keep you glued to your screen? Figuring out the motivation behind the AI is totally key. Next up, you got to think about the data it was trained on. Remember what we said about bias? It all comes back to the data. So ask yourself, whose stories, whose experiences, whose perspectives got fed into this thing? And just as important, who's got left out? And last but not least, you have to turn that question inward. Ask yourself honestly, am I using this AI to make myself better, smarter, more creative? Or am I letting it just do the thinking for me? Which means I'm not actually growing my own skills. It's a tough question, but you have to be honest. And what this all boils down to is that your actions really, really matter. This isn't just about you protecting your own privacy or getting a good grade. The way you choose to use and question AI actually helps shape what the future of this technology looks like for all of us. And you can start making a difference right now with really simple things. Keep learning about AI's limits. Get in the habit of questioning what it tells you instead of just blindly trusting it. And hey, if you see an AI application that seems biased or unfair, say something. And when you can, try to support the companies that are actually being transparent and trying to do this stuff the right way. And
When you really look at it, this isn't some big competition of AI versus humans. The goal is collaboration. It's a partnership, really. AI is amazing at spotting patterns, working at a crazy speed and scale, and just crunching numbers. But look at what we bring to the table: creativity, common sense, empathy, and maybe most important of all, ethical judgment. The future isn't about AI replacing us. It's about us figuring out how to work with it, using our strengths to guide its power.
Which really brings us right back to the main point of all of this. Being ethical with AI isn't about being afraid of it or avoiding it. No way. It's about being a thoughtful and responsible user. It's about understanding what it's great at and also understanding where it can go wrong. Because at the end of the day, that's all AI really is. It's a tool, a ridiculously powerful tool for sure. But just like any tool, it can be used to build something incredible, or it can be used to cause a lot of problems. The future of AI isn't written in stone. It's being written right now by the choices we all make. So the real question is, how are you going to choose to use it?